His name was Ethan, and Ethan was my promise. We met in the most ridiculous way. I was at a coffee shop, my usual place, the one with the uncomfortable chairs but the best chocolate croissants. I was trying to juggle my phone, my laptop, and a huge iced coffee. Naturally, I dropped the coffee. All of it. All over his shoes. He was wearing these really nice, probably expensive leather boots. I was so mortified. I just stood there, my mouth open, waiting for him to yell at me. But he just looked down at his boots, then looked at me, and he started to laugh. It was a real laugh, not a polite one. He said, "Well, I was wondering how to make this Tuesday interesting. I guess my shoes volunteered." And that was it. That was the beginning. We talked for hours that day. He didn't even care about his wet socks. He told me he was a carpenter, which I thought was the most romantic job in the world. Building things with your hands. Creating something solid and real. It felt like a sign. My life felt so chaotic, so digital and scattered. And here was this man who made things that lasted. For the next 2 years, Ethan was my shelter. He was the calm to my crazy. I am a bit of a whirlwind, you see. I lose my keys 5 times a day. I talk too fast when I'm excited, and I have a habit of starting 10 projects and finishing none. He was patient. He would find my keys, listen to my rapid-fire stories with a smile, and gently help me finish at least one of my projects. He built me a bookshelf for all the books I bought but never read. He said it was a bookshelf for my intentions. It was the most thoughtful thing anyone had ever given me. We had this dream. This simple, beautiful dream. We were going to buy an old, broken-down house with a big yard. You know the kind? The one with the peeling paint and the overgrown garden. We were going to fix it up together. He would do the real carpentry, the big stuff, and I would be in charge of the paint colors and the furniture. We would get a dog, a big, silly dog that would dig holes in the garden we were going to plant. We had names picked out for the dog. We had names picked out for our future kids. It was all planned. It was all a promise. And then the Tuesday came. It wasn't a dramatic thing. I was just at work and I felt a lump in my neck. It was small like a pea. I thought it was nothing. A swollen gland. I was probably getting sick. I was a whirlwind, remember? I didn't have time to be sick. I ignored it for a week. Then 2 weeks. I told Ethan it was nothing. He would touch it gently, a worried look in his eyes, and I would swat his hand away. "It's fine," I'd say. "Stop being a worrywart." But I wasn't fine. The doctor's office was so clean it felt sterile, like it was trying too hard. The doctor was a kind woman with gentle eyes, which is probably the worst kind of doctor to have when they have to give you bad news. Because you can see the kindness, and you know it means they're about to break your heart. She said the word, cancer. It's a strange word. It sounds so small, doesn't it? Just 2 syllables. But it landed in my chest like a boulder. It sat there, heavy and cold, crushing all the air out of my lungs. I remember thinking, this can't be right. I'm 28. I have a bookshelf of intentions. I have a boyfriend who builds things. We have a dog to get. This is a mistake. I drove home in a daze. I don't remember the drive at all. I just remember walking through the door and seeing Ethan in the kitchen, stirring a pot of soup. He looked up and smiled, that smile that always made my world feel right. And then he saw my face. The smile vanished. He turned off the stove and was just there, in front of me, his hands on my arms. I told him. The words came out all wrong, all jumbled up with sobs. Cancer. Treatment. Scared. He just held me. He held me for a long time, his chin on top of my head. He didn't say, "It'll be okay," because he wasn't stupid. He just said, "I'm here. I'm right here." And he was. He was my promise keeper. The next months were a blur of hospitals, needles, and sickness. The treatment was brutal. It was a war, and my body was the battlefield. I was so tired. A bone-deep tiredness that sleep couldn't fix. I lost my hair. I remember the day it started falling out in clumps. I was in the shower and I just watched it circle down the drain. I sat down in the shower and cried. Not because of the hair, but because of what it meant. It meant the sickness was real. It meant my body was turning against me. Ethan came in and found me there. He didn't say a word. He just got in the shower with me, clothes and all, and held me while the water ran cold. Later that week, he shaved his head too. He said he was just evening out the haircuts. He said it was a new look for us. He tried to make me laugh. And sometimes I did. A little. That was the thing about Ethan. Even in the middle of my storm, he was my shelter. He made me soup when I couldn't eat. He held my hand during the treatments. He slept in the uncomfortable hospital chair next to my bed. He read me silly stories when I was too weak to hold a book. He never once complained. He never once looked at me with pity. He just looked at me with love. A love so steady and strong, it was the only thing I could hold on to. One night, after a particularly bad day, I was lying in bed, feeling like a ghost in my own body. He was lying next to me, his hand gently rubbing my back. I turned to him, my eyes full of tears. "You should go," I whispered. The words felt like broken glass in my mouth. He stopped rubbing my back. "What?" "You should go, Ethan. This isn't what you signed up for. This isn't the girl you met in the coffee shop. This isn't the future we planned. I can't give you any of that now. I don't know if I ever can again." The tears were streaming down my face, falling onto the pillow. "I release you from the promise. Go and find someone healthy, someone you can have a life with." He was quiet for a long moment. He just looked at me, his eyes soft and full of something I couldn't name. Then he propped himself up on his elbow. "Laura," he said, his voice low and serious. "Do you remember the bookshelf I built you?" I sniffled, confused.
"What?"
"Yes." "What did I call it?" "The bookshelf for my intentions," I mumbled.
"Right."
"It was for all the books you were going to read, all the things you intended to do. That bookshelf wasn't just for books. It was for us. It was a promise that there would be time for all those things. A promise that we had a future. A future full of your unfinished projects and my bad jokes." He gently wiped a tear from my cheek. "Laura, the promise wasn't for a perfect, healthy life. The promise was for all of it. The good, the bad, the terrifying, the ugly. It was for the Tuesdays and the Sundays. It was for the coffee-spilling girl and the girl in this bed right now. They're the same person. And I love that person. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to with my whole heart. But the sickness was a liar. It whispered things in my ear. It told me I was a burden. It told me he would eventually leave. It told me I was broken. My body was weak, but my fear was strong. And fear makes you do crazy things. It makes you push away the people you need most, just so they can't leave you first. It's a twisted kind of self-protection. So I started to push. Hard. I got irritable. I snapped at him for small things.
The soup was too salty.
He was breathing too loud. He was looking at me with that pitying look, even though I knew, deep down, it wasn't pity. It was love. But my fear voice called it pity. I started to pull away. When he held my hand, I would pull it back. When he tried to kiss my forehead, I would turn my head away. I built a wall, brick by brick, out of my own fear and pain. He was so patient, so endlessly patient. He would just quietly put the soup aside or apologize for his breathing, which was ridiculous. He would sit in the chair by the window, just being there, a silent, steady presence. But my wall was getting higher. I couldn't see over it anymore. All I could see was my own misery. The breaking point came on a Sunday. A sunny, cruel Sunday. I was feeling a little better, strong enough to sit on the couch for a while. He was so happy, so hopeful. He brought me a cup of tea and sat down next to me. He started talking about the future again. He was looking at pictures of old houses on his phone, showing me ones that were for sale. Look at this one, Laura. The porch is a mess, but just imagine it with some rocking chairs. And look at the kitchen. It's huge. We could put a big table in there for when the kids come over. The kids, the dog, the house, the promise. It all felt like a cruel joke. A dream that belonged to someone else. A healthy someone else. A rage, hot and sudden, flooded through me. It wasn't really rage at him. It was rage at the sickness. Rage at my own broken body. But he was the one sitting right there. Stop it, I shouted, the sound shocking even to me. He jumped, dropping the phone. Just stop it, Ethan. Stop pretending. Stop with the stupid houses and the stupid dog. Don't you get it? There is no future. There is no we anymore. There's just me and this is it. This is all there is now. You need to accept it, and so do I. He stared at me, his face pale, his eyes full of shock and hurt. Laura, I'm not pretending.
I'm hoping.
There's a difference. Well, stop hoping. It's exhausting. Just go. Please. I can't do this. I can't keep watching you pretend everything is going to be okay. It's not. It's never going to be okay again. He stood up slowly, like an old man. He didn't look angry. He just looked so incredibly sad. He picked up his phone from the floor. He looked at me for a long time, as if he was trying to memorize my face, even the angry, horrible face I was making. Then he walked to the door. I'll be back tomorrow, Laura, he said softly, his hand on the doorknob. I'll always come back.
He left.
And the silence he left behind was worse than any sickness. It was a cold, empty silence. I had done it. I had pushed him away. I had won. And I had never felt more alone in my entire life. The next day, he didn't come. I sat by the window, watching for his car. The day turned into evening. The evening turned into night. He didn't come. My stupid, broken heart, which I had tried so hard to protect by pushing him away, was now shattered into a million pieces. The fear voice was right. He had finally left. I had finally made him see. I was too much. I was broken. I cried myself to sleep that night. Not the loud, dramatic crying from the movies, but the quiet, hopeless kind that feels like you're drowning from the inside. The next morning, there was a knock at the door. My heart leaped into my throat. I tried to get up, but I was too weak. The doorbell rang again. Then again. Finally, I heard the door open. It was my sister, who had a key. Laura, she called out. Honey, are you awake? She came into the bedroom, her face full of concern. I've been calling you. Why didn't you answer your phone? I just shook my head.
My voice was gone.
She sat on the edge of the bed. I have something for you. It's from Ethan. She handed me a letter. A simple, white envelope with my name on it in his familiar, neat handwriting. My hands were shaking so badly, I could barely open it. Inside was a single piece of paper. I started to read. Laura, I'm not going to say I understand because I don't. I don't understand why you're trying so hard to make me leave. I don't understand why you're fighting me when we should be fighting this thing together. But I do understand one thing. I understand that you're scared. And I'm scared too, Laura.
I'm terrified.
I'm terrified of losing you. And that's the truth. You told me I should go and find someone healthy. You told me I didn't sign up for this. But you're wrong. I did sign up for this. The day I laughed at my wet socks in that coffee shop, I signed up for all of it. I signed up for the girl who loses her keys and the girl who fights a monster. They are the same person. My person. So I'm not going anywhere. But I'm also not going to sit here and watch you build a wall between us. I'm going to give you some space because maybe you need it. Maybe you need to remember who you are underneath all this fear and sickness. I love you. I love you on your strong days, and I love you on your weak days. I love you with hair and without. I love you when you laugh and when you scream. My promise to you wasn't a fair weather promise. It was a forever promise. I'll be waiting. Not with pictures of houses, not with pressure, just waiting. Waiting for my whirlwind to be ready to let me back in. Yours always, Ethan. I read the letter 3 times. The tears were falling so fast I could barely see the words. All my fear, all my anger, it just drained out of me, leaving behind a hollow ache of shame and regret. He wasn't leaving. He had never been leaving. I was the one doing the leaving. I was the one trying to destroy the only good thing in my life. I looked at my sister. I need to see him. She helped me get dressed. It took forever. I was so weak, but I had to go. I had to. She drove me to his apartment. It was a small place above a garage, full of wood and tools and the smell of sawdust. His truck was there. He was home. My sister helped me up the stairs. My legs felt like jelly. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst right out of my chest. I knocked on the door. He opened it. He looked tired. He had dark circles under his eyes, and he hadn't shaved. He was holding a piece of sandpaper in his hand. He just stared at me for a second, his eyes going wide. Lara? I opened my mouth, but no words came out. All the things I wanted to say. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I was so scared. I love you. They all got stuck in my throat. So I just did the only thing I could do. I held up his letter. My hand was shaking. He looked at the letter, then back at me. He didn't say a word. He just opened his arms. And I walked into them. It wasn't a run or a jump. It was a slow, shaky, stumbling walk into his arms. He held me tight, so tight, and I just sobbed into his chest. I sobbed for all the fear, for all the wasted time, for all the walls I had tried to build. I sobbed because I was home. I'm sorry. I whispered into his shirt, the words muffled. I'm so sorry, Ethan. I was so stupid. I was so scared. I thought if I pushed you away first, it would hurt less. But it was so much worse. It was 100 times worse. He just held me tighter and kissed the top of my bald head. It's okay, my love. It's okay. You're here now. That's all that matters. He led me inside. His apartment was a mess, which was unlike him. There were coffee cups everywhere and drawings. He had been drawing houses. Our house. Sketches of the porch with the rocking chairs. A big, silly dog in a yard. A kitchen with a big table. I looked at them. My heart so full it felt like it might overflow. He made me tea, and we sat on his worn-out couch. For the first time in months, the silence between us wasn't filled with fear. It was just peaceful. You know, he said, after a long while, a small smile playing on his lips. I've been thinking, that dog. We should get a small, stupid one. Not a big, silly one. A small, yappy one that will think it's big. It'll be funnier. I laughed. A real laugh. It felt rusty and strange, but it was real. A small, yappy one?
Yeah.
We'll name him Tuesday, to remind us that even terrible, boring, coffee-spilling Tuesdays can turn into something amazing. I leaned my head on his shoulder. I love you, Ethan. I love you too, Lara. I love you on Tuesdays and on Sundays and on all the days in between. The road ahead was still long. The treatments weren't over. The fear wasn't gone. It still lurked in the corners, waiting for a moment of weakness. But it didn't matter as much anymore, because I wasn't fighting it alone. I had my shelter. I had my promise keeper. And he had finally convinced me that I was worth keeping. The illness was a part of my story, yes, but it was not the whole story. The whole story was about a love so stubborn it refused to leave. A promise so strong it could survive even my own fear. It was about a girl who learned that being broken doesn't mean you are unworthy of love. Sometimes it means you are finally ready to receive it. The real, honest, forever kind. And that, I realized, was the most amazing thing of all. The illness tried to steal my future, but in the end, it just showed me what my future was really made of. It was made of him, and he was my promise. My forever promise.